Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, my name is Nilambari. The first question that's going to come to your mind is, who am I? So I'm going to first try and answer that. Who am I? I'm a political scientist while I'm thinking, analyzing, reading, and understanding political matters. I'm a photographer while I'm taking pictures. I'm an artist while I'm designing the concept and the graphics of my business. I'm also a social scientist while trying to resolve the social matters and challenges that we face in our life. I'm also a lawyer while designing the laws of the educational models that we do at our business center. I'm a design thinker, and you get the gist. We are all different people at different points in our life, and we are required to be different people at different points in our life. So if I understand the question, why would I want to share with you the journey that changed my life forever? After 12th standard, when I first came to the real life, I understood for the first time how completely unprepared I was to face it. For the first time, when I was left to face the world all alone, without the protection of my family and the comfort zone of the places and all the areas that I have been in, I realized that the question, what did I want from life? Is it necessary for me to choose one profession, one discipline, one label throughout my life and actually pursue and follow that? Why can't I choose more than one profession or discipline? And how will I create the life of my dreams? These were the various questions that haunted me, which then resulted into the journey that changed my life. If I begin with my academic journey, I have a science background. I finished science in my 11th and 12th, and then I faced the inevitable question that I shared with you today. Now the challenge was that I loved all the subjects, and I had enough grades to go on and pursue whatever I wished to. I had enough grades to create the life that I wanted. Is it possible for me to do it all? I went on to study English literature. I dropped out in the second year. I then went on to get some experience in the field of social work. I then went on to do my bachelor's in political science, along with which I started BookMan in 2012. I'm right now pursuing my MBA as I speak. I would like you to meet certain people that I have met on this journey that changed my life. Meet Vaishnavi Vora, Ishika Punjabi, Mehak Shah, Verenya Lathal, and Samar Vora. These are all the individuals who face the same question, the same challenge, and the same journey that I faced before 6 years. The journey that made me set out on this path that I am today was seen so clearly into these lives, and the more and more I kept on meeting such people, and the more the numbers kept on increasing, it made me realize how strongly I feel for this, how strongly I wanted to think about this, and how strongly I wanted to do something about it, which resulted into BookMan. Who is BookMan? Just like any other superhero, like Batman and the others, he tries to make an impact on your life. He's a designer and crafter of experiences. Very early in my life, I understood that there is no substitute to experience. What experience can teach us is a 4-dimensional, holistic environment, which cannot be done through passive learning or a monologue or just a dialogue. The importance of touch, feel, sense, and all our aspects of ourselves, not to mention our social, emotional, spiritual sides, which I will go on to explain. The culmination of all of this is important. It is a venture designed in the field of education, which therefore, upon stressing my importance of experiences, which provides real-life simulations, environments through which an user or any individual could learn the real-life skills that are required for the real life. as well as the real life skills that you need to learn for the life of your choosing. If you look at holistic education, we understand that we are a culmination of our emotional, mental, physical, social, and spiritual self. It's like a balanced diet. Eat too much of the vegetable and you fall sick. Do not eat the vegetable and you fall sick. Do not look at one side of it, it becomes imbalanced. Give too much of any side of it, it again becomes imbalanced. So how do we do it? What do we do at BookMan that enables us to achieve this? We have no notebooks, we have no pencils, we have no students, and we have no teachers. We have designers and we have the users. We have the designers of the experiences and the environment, and we have the users of that particular environment and experience. Let me show you these real-life simulation experiments and experiences of BookMan through these 3 stories. Story number 1. 40 individuals, 4 teams, 10 sketch pens, 4 tone boxes, 2 scissors, and no teachers. A group of 40 kids were divided into 4 teams, and they were given a task. The objective: create something in an hour that you have to go out on the streets and sell within this hour, the minute you are done with it. And after you are done selling, you have to give me the 10% commission of it. It is important to earn money through this exercise, and that was the objective that was given to the children. As you can imagine, for the first half an hour, we had a bunch of, we're talking about the kids between the age group of 11 and 18. For the first half an hour, we had a fish market. Because there were no teachers and no such influencers of any sort of control within the environment, and we just design and create the environment and give it to them. We do not interfere into the process of the environment. For the first half an hour, the kids resulted and literally gave a complete chaotic environment. They fought, they had verbal fights, they were scratching each other, and they were trying to get over the scissors because everything was less. In the next half an hour, we saw a complete transformation happen. At the midpoint, when the 30 minutes were over and they realized they just had 30 minutes left to finish and achieve the outcome, they all sat down and they decided to talk to each other. And they decided to share the resources rather than fighting over it. They decided to talk, collaborate, and therefore come to a process and a solution that they could implement by themselves. These are children of 11 to 18-year-olds deciding by themselves that they would rather choose a peaceful method rather than the fights and everything that they have done till now. What 17 years of shouting of the parents, teachers, and everyone around us who tries to influence us to do our best in life couldn't do, 30 minutes of this simulation had done that. What had really happened was that the 40 individuals and the 4 teams are the real-life scenarios of working in teams. The 10 sketch pens and 1 scissor, it symbolizes a few resources that we have in our life. The 4 cardboard tone boxes represents the life is never what we want. The 4 products that they created, which they went on to sell for 200, 300, 400 and 500 rupees out on the streets, were the symbolification of the understanding that you can create what you envision and desire and will. The no teachers show the no teachers in real life. We do not have any sort of individuals who would view us through our entire day and give us a memo at the end of the day telling us these are the lessons we learned. If for 17 years of our life we become used to a system in which we are used to getting things completely ready on our plates, we will not understand the system and the real life when we actually go on to face it. How will we achieve the dreams that we want? The 10% share shows the 10% commission that we need to give in real life, because nothing comes for free. There is no free lunch. The selling imparted the art of persuasion, and empathy within them. This is what had really happened. The self-simulated thoughts are more effective than passive learning. After the 1 hour is over and our real-life simulation is done, we sit with the children and we ask them, what did you learn? For example, if a child gives back a feedback that I learned that fighting gets us nowhere, and this is truly what had happened in the simulation. There was this kid who came up and told me that I, for the first time, truly understood that fighting gets us nowhere. We have to sit down if we want to achieve things in a constrained environment, and we have to do things together in collaboration, because going against each other is not getting me anywhere. The story number 2, the sacks. It is a beautiful example in which we divided 40 individuals in pairs and therefore 20 teams. The task at hand was that one of them would be given a sack and the other one wouldn't be. They had to run 50 meters and reach the goal post. Of course, as you can expect, the person who had the sack could not run as fast as the person who did not have the sack. This enabled us to impart the real-life skill that if we have any sort of emotional, mental, social, spiritual baggage in our lives, we will not be able to give our full potential and run truly forward for what we want or what we dream about. The simulation also gave them a lot of other learnings, which brings me to my story number 3. The 6 thinking hats. I'm sure you've heard of this concept by Edward de Bono, in which we apply different parts and perspectives to ensure that we do the holistic, complete thinking which is required. Clarity of thought is an important characteristic of an educated mind. If we cannot finish our thinking, complete our thinking, and make proper decisions in our life, all the time we will end up making decisions that we did in haste because we did not finish our line of thought. We did not think it through. In order to do the same, we actually create the hats. We create a game in which we make the children wear the hats. They have to decide one issue or topic at hand that really affects them, that they really truly care about. After deciding that, the hats keep on rotating, and they keep on rotating their personal, creative, logical, and all the different other 6 hats that you see. Aspects of thinking. They think the matter through. They finish their line of thought and they view that topic from all multiple perspectives. I'm talking about kids in the age group of 5 to 18. We have kids in the age group of 5 to 18 applying concepts which are usually taught in business schools. As I began with my challenge, I think I can now share the answers that I received. One of the most important things that I learned was that I needed to drop the sack of labels. I do not need to choose whether I want to become an engineer or a doctor or a businesswoman. It is very obvious to me after the work I have done that I need to be different people at different points in life, and therefore I would choose to excel at them. There is no one answer. If you're looking for one answer or one discipline, it doesn't exist. And every point in your life, you will have to keep on adapting different multiple disciplines and perspectives to solve the challenge at your hand. Become lifelong learners. We cannot decide once after 12th and be done with it forever. It's not going to happen. It's something that we need to do every day. We need to sit down with ourselves at the end of the day and ask ourselves, was I happy with myself today? Is this what I wanted? And if not, then how can I change it tomorrow? Because every day is an opportunity for you to do it new and adapt all those different disciplines that we have. 4th, and the most important too, learning how to unlearn. We need to understand that we need to keep on changing our approaches and tools and disciplines and methods every time we come across a new challenge. We cannot have the same methods for a challenge which is dynamic, because then we are adapting static methods to solve a dynamic challenge which is not possible. We will again meet these kids. As I got my answers, so did they. We now have Vaishnavi who can exactly map out the emotion that she feels from the emotion charts that we usually use. And she also happens to be reading Speaking 3, which we see in the Times of India. Nideshika Punjabi, the girl who used to hate reading books, doesn't leave the place now. She doesn't leave BookMan, and she's already finished more than 100 books this year. And she's reading Roald Dahl, she's reading Sean Covey, she's reading Stephen Covey, Mehek Shah, Varenya, Summer. Years ago, we created this space where it was safe for us to experiment and play physically. We called it the playground. We went there, we fell, we learned how to run, we learned how to play with the slides and all of it. Where are the safe, holistic, other environments that we need for our children? Where is the social, safe environment for our children? Where is the spiritually safe environment for our children where they can play, they can experiment, they can learn, they can unlearn? We need holistic, safe environments for our children to play. We cannot just allow them to not make mistakes. We need to ensure that we impart to them that it's not called a mistake, it's called experience. There's a big difference between failure and experience. One stops you from trying. The other one is always the route of where you go ahead. Imagine a safe, holistic playground, a place which is socially, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, and in all aspects and all dimensions wise, safe for our children to play. That is what I wish to create. Thank you.